Sexual energy is supposed to be cultivated. It's supposed to be harnessed. It's supposed to be used for more than just fulfilling one's ego. It's supposed to be used for more than just, not feeling lonely for the night. You know what I'm saying? But you have to look at it from that exact perspective for people that use it for those types of things. By you performing this act, your desired result was at least attempted, but let's just say your desired result was indeed manifested. People need to become a lot more hip to sex magic. When quite literally the masculine and the feminine come together, but then in that act of orgasm and climax, you are supposed to set your intention because it quite literally shocks whatever it is that you were thinking about into fruition. You are the masculine principle as a man, and then as a woman, she's the feminine. You get together, you do your things, the masculine and feminine have come into union to create something. The only thing some of y'all are creating is a good feeling, a physical sensation. And if that's what you want to keep on doing, of course, there's a time and place for everything. However, what if there was more? What if through the sexual acts with your partners, you could manifest a dope mindset for both of you? What if you guys could, and I want to say come together as in come into union, but for the sake of the conversation, come together, you know what I'm saying? But you could come together to manifest something at a deep spiritual level. Hey babe, when we do something today, our intention is this, okay? So when we're doing what we do, have that in your mind, visualize this in your mind. Of course, still be here with me, but let's build this energy up. And then when we both get to that moment, boom, we send it. We that's the equivalent of hitting the send button on the email, on a text. You know what I'm saying? Boom. And now that intention has been birthed into the universe. When you nut at the physical level, a baby is formed. Even at the lower level, when you nut at the physical level, you feel good. Okay? What if there could be a higher level of good that you can generate? Right? Let me give it to you like this. One of the things that I always say is where attention goes, energy goes. Okay? So let's almost flip it around. It's almost like where attention is, that's where where energy is, that's where your attention is going to naturally go. If you stub your toe on the edge of a bed frame or something like that, all that energy has now been absorbed into that small little toe. That's why it hurts so much. And because it hurts so much, where did all of your attention go? To that place that hurts, right? So let's bring it back up to our conversation. When you're getting the tingle down under, when you're bricked up is the new terminology I'm learning from you young people out there. When you are aroused as a man, where does all of your attention go? To the lower brain, if you will. Ladies, when you get hot and bothered, it goes to your nether regions, you feel it in the nipples, whatever. To each their own. These are the things that you need to pay attention to. Because wait a minute, there's a lot of energy pooling in these specific places. Once again, we have the chakra system. For those of you that don't like the word chakra, we have the levels throughout the body. Level 1 through 7, the root through the crown, right? When you are getting hot and bothered, especially for those of you men that suffer from premature ejaculation, you are pooling too much energy at level 2, at the sacral chakra. That's where your dick is. That's where the magic happens for y'all. You know what I'm saying? The sacral chakra. The sacral means secret. The secret is what is secreted. Okay? So when all that energy is pooling there, some of you are not at this mental/spiritual state to control all that energy, so it needs to find its way to escape. And you have been programmed to only allow that energy to escape through ejaculation, which is why I was really big on preaching the semen retention stuff. I don't make that content anymore, but it's still relevant when it comes up in conversation like these. If this is a little bit too deep for you, let me give you a very simple example, right? Let's go with okay, let's just go for the sake of the example, hot dogs, the glizzies, right? It gets weird, but I'm trying to make it fun. I'm trying to get us on the emotions, go up and down with it so it sticks. But we have to use a hot dog, right? If you put ketchup on the hot dog, you put mustard, you put whatever condiments that you put on it. There's a whole bunch of like little words. It almost sounds like I'm doing this on purpose, but I'm really not. I'm having fun with this one. Why not? But hopefully we could be educational with it as well. You know, like in a typical commercial, it's just ketchup on the hot dog. It's just evenly dispersed. When all that energy is pooling in your sacral region, your level 2, if you will, when all the energy's pulling at your dick and you feel like you're about to bust, what you have to realize is, instead of the ketchup being evenly dispersed throughout the whole hot dog, you put like a whole glob of it on just the edge. Who likes the hot dog like that? Who likes all that energy in one place? You're supposed to circulate it. It's supposed to cover all the levels. You see, now we're going to elevate a little bit because we're going to get out of simply just talking about sex. I said sexual energy. Sexual energy is not just the stuff that you get from swiping right on Tinder and having a good mouthpiece to text the girl, to call the girl to bring her through. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, it's like y'all are literally the epitome of sexual energy. That's why, to be honest, half of y'all are more sexual than us. Like, we are hornier, but like y'all do more, you feel more, because you are quite literally more full of creation energy. You women are the creators of life because you harness the sexual energy to form it into something physical called a baby. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, sexual energy is everywhere. You know, the masculine and feminine principles are always coming together to create the life that we experience today. If you think I'm kidding, let's go with this example. Throwing a ball. I've used this example before. The act of throwing the ball is the masculine principle. It is the active force. The act of the ball flying through the air is the feminine principle, the passive force. You see what I'm saying? This is why, ladies, a lot of men are starting to regain their leadership, like their eagerness to lead, because we are the embodiment of the active masculine principle as men. Yes, do we all have the masculine and feminine within all of us? Of course. But there's a reason why I was born a dude and you were born a woman. Well, born a girl, woman, female, all that type of stuff. Don't call me no female. Quick sidebar. I know I like to make this clear from time to time because I still hear it when I watch, like, you know, those types of videos. Female, that's such a cringe term. Look, it's alchemy. The only reason that we have like our alphabet right now is due to alchemy. Excuse me. There's males. I'm not knowledgeable enough why the word male was used in the first place. But you know, everything was written from the patriarchy, at least from our recorded history. Everything has been written from the perspective of a man, right? So man says, man does this, man, because we're speaking from a first person perspective. Female means iron male, ironically. Fe on the periodic table is what element? Iron. And aren't y'all the ones that have certain things that happen that involve a lot of blood? Doesn't it make sense that iron would be representative, would be like the label attached to you? That is what I mean personally by female. Now, some people, I can see why y'all use it because people use it wrong, but y'all at least know where I'm coming from when I say it. That's how I see it. That's how I'm gonna keep on calling it. Anywho. So yeah, the masculine and feminine principles are around us all the time. That's all sexual energy coming together to create something. Everything that you do with sexual energy does not need to be physical. It could be mental, it could be spiritual. When you get to the highest, let's get from the lowest to the lows to the highest of the highs. You know, people consider the most high a unisex, it's like something that's above gender. It's above sex. It's above all that type of stuff. However, it still uses sexual energy just like we do it. We just do it at a significantly lower level. But if you wanted to break down that the wholeness into its halves, there's the divine father and the divine mother. That is why I believe in the mother, the father, and the child, not the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. That don't make no sense. Where's the woman's role in that? That's a lot of man stuff creating. You need the feminine. You need the woman to create something. That's just how I see it. You know? The thing is, when you harness its energy, especially for men, men are supposed to save it, women are supposed to express it. Weirdly enough. However, that doesn't mean that men, you have to go be monk mode like me for your whole life. And ladies, that doesn't mean that you need to go bouncing on some every 2 seconds. you know. But when it comes to the appropriate application of our natures, that's how it's supposed to go down, you know. And once again, we are slowly returning to that balance, but we are being distracted by returning to that balance with this fake war between us men and women. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. That's just something that's been in the back of my head. I'm trying to find the right words to use to describe my thoughts on that. But anyway, you know, when you start to utilize this energy correctly for your makeup, you start to realize that you start to see life from a higher perspective because you are containing more energy. When you're containing more energy, you have more time, or you have more energy to do things. This is why it's so important for men to conserve it and only dish it out, diligently. You know what I'm saying? Because when we hold in our energy, it keeps that masculine energy within us, right? But look, it's like, once again, you have to kind of use the generalization stereotypes. But why are men supposed to be more calm, cool, and collect? And women tend to be more emotional. Y'all are more likely to cry, yell, this type of stuff. Once again, stereotypically speaking, I know there's women that can control themselves. I know there's men that are emotional. You know what I'm saying? But like, generally speaking, it's because we are acting on the principles of nature. That's all it is. When we conserve our masculine energy, we become more masculine. When women are allowed to be soft, which is something that us men have been lacking in, we don't allow women to be soft. They have to be on guard with us all the time because a lot of us have chosen to lie to get to what we want. See, I told you I'm trying to stay on topic. Anyway, it's like women are supposed to be more expressive. Be more expressive. Okay, let's have an uncomfortable conversation for immature people. Who's supposed to be the loud one when you're having sex? It's usually the woman that's doing the oohs and the ahs. Of course, a man can participate, but typically it's the woman that's supposed to be making all the sounds, right? That's her just being in her nature to express, to send things out. Why is it then, why do we tend to bottle up so much emotion? Oh, because society doesn't give outlets for men to express themselves. I mean, yeah, a little bit, but you're still missing the bigger picture. We take things in and we hold it, we retain it, and we're supposed to alchemize it into something that's supposed to make us, that's the masculine and feminine principle within us. So let's break that down. We got the masculine and feminine as in boys and girls, men and women, right? You got that dichotomy. But then when you focus on the man, then there's the masculine and feminine principle acting within us. With the masculine, the act of holding something in is the masculine. But then the feminine is what happens to you when you do that masculine thing. That active force has a passive result. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. There's the law of correspondence. When you do something, something else happens. So when you as a man are diligent with your sexual energy, then you be like, okay, now that I have performed this action, I'm supposed to do something with this energy. Our society has told us that it's only go out there and bust, go watch porn, go call up a girl, go swipe on Tinder. Ladies, the same goes for you when you're expressive. Like, I mean, realistically speaking, you walk into it, once again, I'm trying to go up and down all the ranges so I can like encompass everybody in this conversation. So forgive me if I lost you already. But nevertheless, you go into a sex shop and there's all these toys. I can say most of these things are for women. You know what I'm saying? Of course, there's something that like I ain't with the glitter. You know what I'm saying? I'm very vanilla. I don't need no sprinkles and shit. Like, yeah, sex is still new for me. I'm very much good with the female body. I like the artwork that's in front of me. I don't need all the extra shit. But for those of you that need that, go ahead, have your fun. Do what you do, you little freak nasties. But anyway, it's like, there's all these different ways to express yourself. All these tools are out there just for like the woman to especially express herself. You know what I'm saying? It's like when a woman expresses herself, that's when she feels the most free, the most satisfied. That's going to be the thing that she remembers the most. How much was she able to express herself? How comfortable was she with you? You know what I'm saying? It's like my mind's going to 8,000 different places. I feel myself forgetting what I was just talking about. But nevertheless, let me just bring it back with this one. If I find myself forgetting what I'm saying, I'm just going to bring it back to my original point. This energy is supposed to be cultivated. Then it's supposed to be cultivated for good. You reap what you sow. Are you just going out there and just haphazardly using this energy, or are you using it consciously? There's nothing wrong with just having some physical fun, enjoying the physical sensations of sex. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm never saying that, because like I said, there's a time and place for everything. In one of my previous older videos, when I cussed my ass off, you know what I'm saying, sometimes it's just time for a fucking is a fucking. There's sex, there's intimacy, there's all that type of the sensual side, you know, and then there's just like, hey, come here. All right, I'm trying my best to be realistic and balanced with it, but I'm also just trying to offer a higher perspective. You know, it's like you can use all this sexual energy for more than just a nut, more than just to feel good, more than just a fulfilling of your ego. You know, you feeling like you're doing something, you proving how much of a man you are, you proving how much of a bad bitch you are. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's more than that. The sexual energy is prevalent around us in nature, and everything that we do, everything that we say, everything that we think is only available to us because of the sexual energy that's being harnessed by the higher levels of understanding of nature, of the stars, of the cosmos. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and if we start to all, as a unit, as a collective, elevate our understanding of sexual magic, sexual energy, how it plays a role in us, how it plays a role in us, and other than just the fornication, then we can all start to really see the true value in one another, and we don't what's the word I'm looking for? And we don't abuse the sexual energy that we obtain from one another, and we begin to harness it together. We begin to utilize it. We begin to revere it. We begin to respect it again. You know, I was going to end it there, but like, I just want to add a personal note for myself. You know, that's why I withdrew from the dating world. You know, it's like, for me, I'm just waiting. Of course, I'm still a lover. I'm still waiting for that right one to make herself known in my world. Of course. You know, but in the meantime, I'm just going to keep on utilizing the principles I just spoke to you to make myself a better version of myself until I meet her. That's just how I am. I don't need hoes. I don't want bitches and hoes. What are bitches and hoes? Those are women you've already degraded. And those are the people. I got mad hoes. I got bitches. You just degraded a woman, and you have a lot of them, so you have a lot of degraded material around you. In your world, that's just, you said it, not me. That's weird. You know, I surround myself with quality women. I surround myself with quality men. I surround myself with quality people. You may have a different walk of life than me, but that's perfectly fine. But nevertheless, I withdrew because I just don't see, at least the young ladies I've had the pleasure of meeting, they don't have that level of understanding of sex. Once again, I know I've went a lot further than most people in their 20s. So like, my understanding of it is different. You know, when I'm talking to dudes on site, they talking about who they're hooking up with and this and that. I'm like, that's cool. And they kind of like give me shit for like being the lover. But it's just like, yeah, because I can't bring myself to go smash some random chick that I don't know. I don't know what energy she holds. Likewise for young ladies out there. You don't know that man. Sure, he might look good, he might smell good, all that physical shit that got your body talking to you, you know, but you don't know what they're thinking. You don't know what energies they're carrying. There's STDs out here, sexually transmitted diseases or spiritually transmitted diseases. Like I always like to talk about, you know, you mess with somebody, then your day following it was all messed up. You forgot your keys, you ran out of gas, you know what I'm saying, your boss was like a particular asshole to you. That's the universal, that's the nature principle acting upon you based off of the actions you just performed. But because you are ignorant to these laws, you're just running around haphazardly, just sticking your dick in everything, bouncing on whatever it is that you want to. I couldn't bring myself to do that. I've learned. I've educated myself. I don't run into the same traps that everyone else does because I'm very particular now. It would be a detriment to me to go out here and learn what I have learned and then not apply it. Like Billy Carson be talking about, though. It's like, knowledge is one thing, and he says like, no, it's not. Knowledge is power. No, we need to stop that. It's applied knowledge. I don't mind coming up here and like, you know, talking about my ignorance in the casual dating world. I've only been with 2 women. But these are 2 women that a point that I truly did at that time in my life, I loved. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I think it should be. But if you want to go out there, have fun, I ain't judging, do your thing. But for me personally, it's like not only am I a lover and I require that level of emotional connection before I lay with somebody, but then also too, it's just like I know what it is to transmit lower vibrational frequencies from your sexual partner. In one of my videos from the past, I talk about how I do believe that there's a difference between sex and fucking. I think sex is literally the insertion, the connection, kind of like charging your phone with the USB, literally plugging it in. Boop. Because when you plug it in, you ain't sitting here like, screwing your phone to plug it. No, you just plug it in, and now you can transfer data. You can transfer energy. There's no thrusting necessary. You're connected. Then the fornication, the fucking, the ficken, as in like comes from the German word ficken and frickin', whatever. Like, when people say frick, that's like the nice version of saying fuck, because it has its etymology from these words. You see, the stuff gets deep. You see what I'm saying? So I go out here and learn this, and I hear the way that people speak about it. I see the way the people practice it, and it's just me living my own life. I'm just like, yeah, y'all can do that, but that's just not me. I've learned too much, and I'm just trying my best to articulate what's going on in my head to y'all. You see, I've actually found that sometimes it's hard for me to articulate things because it just became me. To me, it's just become a part of my DNA. It's become a part of my essence, if you will, that it's hard for me to explain it because I forget that the world doesn't think like this sometimes. For me, it's just common sense. It almost feels like I've known this since birth. But when I try to explain something that's common sense, it's like, it's just go out there and do it. Don't do that, right? It makes sense, right? Well, no. What are you talking about, bro? You weird, bro. No, bro. No, bro. The dog weird. Don't listen to him, bro. Hey, look, I'm a weirdo. I'm cool with it. I'm just a cool ass weirdo that just thinks for myself and went out there and learned something. I see too many people being torn down by such a beautiful act. I see too many people get possessive, controlling. These are the energies that you're taking in when you mess with these people. Just be careful, people. That's all I'm asking. Learn, elevate, cultivate this energy to create a better life for yourself. Once again, sexual energy does not need to be sexualized in the bedroom. When you see a piece of art that strikes you, that was sexual energy. When something even frightens you, that was sexual energy. Anything that creates anything was sexual energy, whether it was a physical thing or it was like a creation of a feeling, a creation of like an intuitive moment. All of that was sexual energy. Once you see from this higher level of perspective that all of these things happen all simultaneously, you'll stop only thinking about the physical. You can think only with the physical when you're with your partner and you're both are aligned. But other than that, it's like you have to remember that these little hookups that you're having have deeper implications than you know. Till the next one.